Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
The City of Prosperity. Riches for some, but for the masses, scraping by is all they can do. Meet Bitna. It's a rough life with an even harder reality. Living in the roughest part of town, it looks impossible to make it big. But maybe she will find it in a simple dress. The Radiant Sight, a new romance story by Martin Fisher, now on Indiegogo.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line. See? And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136. I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
Yo, what's happening?
we have a guest tonight that I just met 5 minutes ago for the first time. And I'm looking forward to hearing about this guy and about this particular project. Let me drop the banner up here across the bottom real quick. I'm pretty sure I already put it in the chat on YouTube and Twitch, so you guys can check it out. I guess I better go put it in Facebook too real quick, because yes, I did have to go to Facebook once again and turn off the sales format, or for whatever reason. I don't know why they keep doing that, but I want to introduce you guys all to Carl Dutchins.
Hey, Pops. What's happening? Good. Good.
Dutchin.
Thank you.
Oh man, Dutchin. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to fix that in the description later. I thought there was an S on the end. My bad.
Oh, it's no problem at all. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Please, again, call me Dutch.
All right.
It's a good
So
good moniker.
I was talking to your friend Krista the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And in that conversation, your name came up. I was like, wait a minute, who is this? What's he about? What's he about? We gotta get him out here too. So I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody and tell them what's up with you, man.
All right. Well, everybody, my name's Carl Dutchin, but like I said, everybody in the industry knows me as Dutch. I am a professional comic book flat colorist on the hi-fi color design team, as well as for other industry artists. And I've been doing that for about going to be 7 years next year, and it's probably the best time I've had in my life. It's been slowly growing, this networking, meeting new people, meeting new artists, and I am very thankful for all the new artists that I've met and everybody that's been encouraged me to push this Kickstarter. My first comic called The Wayfarer. Right now, I've got 4 issues out, already done, and they will usually populate onto Webtoons, is where I put it on first. But usually on Webtoons, it's the without all the frills and everything. So some special effects, but not a lot of shading, a lot of detailed rendering, things like that. And then everybody's been encouraging me just to, especially Shelby Robertson with the American Discord, who I do a lot of flatting for. He's been encouraging me. He's been like pushing me to do this like for the last 3 years.
Really?
and I just said, I was always concerned about doing a Kickstarter, how it's going to work and everything. But with them and Krista and others, Alfred Trujillo and many others, they've all been giving me advice and really helping out this indie artist with trying to do a Kickstarter and everything else. So I'm honored to be on here, Pops. Thank again, Krista, for introducing us the other night. And that so it's my comic, The Wayfarer. It is basically when I got I was trying to think of an idea, something to introduce and world build around magic and cyberpunk, cybertech. And hey, it's Mo Biggs.
Mo.
Hail Mo. Yeah, I know Mo from Shelby. So
Mo is one of those master wrenches.
Yes, he is. So how I thought of it was the Silver Surfer meets the pitch would be Silver Surfer with the Dark Tower kind of pitch. And then as I continued to grow, my love of anime and manga just started introducing like things like power caps for like Dragon Ball Z. They always like saying on somebody else, they always hit their limit and then they surpass it, and they surpass that limit to go to the next stage. And so I wanted to have something that kind of did that, but what it kind of stopped. It had to hold true to that world, the person, and whatever. And so it just came about. And originally, Amiya, my main character, our antagonist here, she was supposed to be a blonde, but then I started thinking about it. I was looking at my little girls, going like, who are they going to cosplay as? Who are others? So I changed how she looked to reflect my own kids, and it's got a diverse world. So I am creating because I've kind of been in this industry for about 6 years, 6.5, and so I've met a lot of cosplayers. I've met a lot of actors in my time, and so I'm like thinking like how can I, this would be cool. This person kind of influences this design. And so I've created some really great characters. I'm right now just finishing up. I'm lettering my 4th issue right now. And then the 5th issue we're going to start off. But I'm so excited. Sorry. I'm already jumping ahead of time, like, trying to build up everything. But the first issue is a slow burn. So it is a slow burn, basically. Hi, Michaela.
Yeah, you saw her ad at the beginning of the show. That's her.
Oh, yeah, that was very beautiful. I loved it. Definitely have to check these all out. I mean, I was blown away by everything I saw. So I'm going to have to go back and start clicking. I get inspired by their artists, so I just see things and this.
Now I have
they
to
just move me
ask.
here.
Okay, now I met you through Krista. You know Alfred. You know, I'm assuming you know Kara, and you know Brian, and you know Francesca. Are you in the Valley?
I am here in
I
Chandler.
lived there for 35 years, bro. So.
Well, I'm a transplant from Minnesota, so I've been here for about I think 14 years. Really?
In
Where at?
Yes, Minneapolis.
I'm from Northeast Minneapolis, so that's where I was born and raised.
I was born in the Lake Street area.
Okay, South Side. Nice. That's very rare. I mean, well,
we lived on Chicago and Lake Street when I was
actually born. Yeah. My parents, when I was first born, that's I think it was Chicago and oh God, we were on the South Side as well when I was a kid. We used to have some place, I can't think of it right now, but not too far from there. Cool. And then moved to Northeast. That's where I grew up.
And then you moved to Phoenix, just like I did, dude. That's like some parallel shit right there.
This is, man. This is amazing. I mean, another Midwesterner, man. Because I was just, I mean, I love the heat. I'm born and bred Minnesotan, so I can survive in minus 50. You know what that's like. But I prefer to sweat. I love it when it's 100 degrees outside. I'm the guy that's outside in the summertime. I'm walking around enjoying myself, and in the wintertime when it gets cold and it gets below 80, I'm inside looking at you guys going like, what are you guys doing out there? It's cold.
most thinking about the wrong valley though. We're talking about Phoenix, bro, the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah.
Valley of the Sun. Yeah.
So it's been actually coming here. It's kind of strange because originally my came down. My ex came down because she's for a gaming job, and I was in the corporate world, and so after a while I got kind of tired, and I was more pushed towards doing my illustration, and so that's when I first met Brian Miller. I met him at a con and a couple other guys I worked with there, and so I bought the hi-fi color book and started coloring in Photoshop, and then got a job with him doing flats. And then from there, I've been, flatting with them for, again, 6.5 years, and a lot of DC and other projects. And then working with Shelby Robertson probably was next right afterwards. And then after that, I just started meeting more industry artists, and they, throwing me work here and there. And so coming here was originally for her, but it's been actually beneficial for me because I've been meeting so many people, so many like-minded.
There are a lot of awesome creatives living up there in the Phoenix area, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm so shocked. I mean, I miss one artist, Tone Rodriguez. He moved to Louisiana, but I mean, he was like a mentor. We always helped and always gave advice. And I'm looking forward for when I do the Kickstarter for the second issue, actually having a variant done by him. So, because I'm so impressed with the stuff.
I didn't do none of this. I was just a comic fan collector, right? I didn't know any of all those awesome people back then. Now, since I've been doing this, I found out about all the awesome people that live in Arizona that do comics and art and everything. And it's like, man, if I ever get back home for a visit, I'm going to have to make sure it's a couple weeks so I can go meet, I got to hit the headquarters at Coffin. I got, I got places to go and people to meet when I get back in the Valley. So, you might have just made that list too.
Yeah, I would be honored if you would stop by because
I'm
so
going to try to get out there for a con sometime, like combine a visit back to some family and catch a con at the same time, and maybe go see and meet all these people that don't come to our little cons up here in Michigan.
Actually, yeah, Michigan. I would love to head up there. I have some friends and family up there too, so I'm hoping to do some traveling and stuff. So
that's where I'm at now. My son started having grandkids, and it was like,
I got you.
Want to hang out with the grandkids and watch them grow.
Well, you come back down. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to I'm hoping my oldest will be going to college here next year, and Minnesota is one of the locations, and I'm hoping she goes there so I can go back to the state fair. I miss the Minnesota State Fair.
Dude, I haven't been. Well, see, now I haven't been back to Minnesota since the winter that the Metrodome collapsed. And that's all I'm going to say about it. That was the last time I was in Minneapolis.
I understand. I know exactly what year that is.
And yes, Kara is Alfred's other half. I've had Kara on the show many times.
Yeah, I just saw her maybe a few weeks ago. So she's fantastic. I just did some flatting for Alfred and Kara recently, so that was fantastic. I'm doing actually some stuff for them, so not gonna say too much, but
well, I mean, I look, she's on the wall back there, something. So, we look. I've really been a fan of Alfred's for a long time. When they started doing the music videos and stuff, I was just like, oh, these guys are killing it.
I didn't even know they did that until I saw Alfred's post on Facebook a few weeks ago, and I'm like, okay. So then I saw the video. I was blown away.
Yeah, the fire beds videos, all that stuff, man. It's like they've been doing it for a while. They got some good stuff. I love people that get outside the box.
Yeah,
anybody
actually,
that's adding music or something different to their campaign or the adventure they're taking the fans on with them. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's actually I was told by somebody that creative types we tend to go off into doing other things like music. Like for example, Bruce Willis went from acting to having those band things like that. I've been trying to learn the piano and other stuff, so I'm just trying to expand as well. So I hear you.
Start making posters. Your confidence, Taylor.
What?
Taylor, your confidence is oozing out of you every morning in your motivational video. Start watching them yourself.
Yeah, that's what I usually tell people at cons is like, you just do it. Just don't worry about the confidence part. You already have it there. It's already there. It's coming out. It's just you don't have to shut down the naysayer in your background of your head or whomever is telling you that. That's all you got to do is just tell them to quiet down while you do this. The other part is, like I said, is being a creative type. Sometimes we're seen as introverts, but as I thought of it, because when I do cons, I'm like, well, I'm very talkative and I'm very, selling my wares and who I am. And it's because we're creative that we just, as I said, we vomit up all this creativity and this work, and we get spent, once we've done that. So we don't want to talk to people because we're just been creatively drained. And so, for me, I've been not doing anything artistic wise all day. So except for a flat I did for the serial cover 11 this morning. I don't, just so I can stay talkative. or else I would be one of those quiet people there, Pops, and you have to try to drag answers out of me.
Now look, I don't know if you know RJ or not, but RJ also has a show out on YouTube. He's one of the people that I like to network with and make sure that my guests get on his show as well. And the more shows you're on, the more different audiences that see what you're doing. And I hate to sound like we're passing you around like a cigarette or something.
Pass the Dutchin? Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's like we have a pretty large network of YouTubers in the madness. I like it when I see somebody that's been on my show on, go on that show, go on that show, go on that show, because they're completely different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
They have a completely different set of subscribers watching them that watch me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I like to do that.
Piece of meat.
Yeah,
Well, that was it the musical youth past the Dutchy. That's what's happening here.
There you go.
Take a
To the
puff
left-hand
pass.
side.
Puff pass to the left hand side. Don't mess up the rotation now.
That's right. So yeah, he's one of those guys though. RJ Carter, he's in the madness. You could find him. You got 14 days left on this. Get on as many shows as you can.
Yeah.
We're about to pimp you out, man.
Appreciate it. I'll dust my shoulders off. So definitely.
Mo, talk to them some of them other people out there while we're doing this, and make sure that they get that too. Get this man out here and get him seen. You want to go ahead and watch this here video?
Yes, let's go ahead and watch it.
Got to time that pause just right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see that?
I love that logo.
Time that pause just right. You see? Whoa! Big screen. Go back. All right. So yeah, this is good looking. I like this now. Now that's the first time I watched that. It's like I told you in the backstage before we started. I don't go out and dig into you guys' lives and everything and come out here knowing everything about you ahead of time. I want to find out about you at the same time that the people in the chat are finding out about you, and have the questions that they ask and that I ask be, more real, as opposed to just canning up a bunch of questions. So, how'd you meet Brian Polito the first time?
Brian at a hi-fi boot camp, actually. So what they do at a boot camp is you go there for the weekend, 3 days, and Brian Miller will walk you through on how to do the flats, set up your computer, do the flats, the next step of coloring, and then they do a drink and draw the first night, and he invites all the local celebs and artists and stuff by, and that's when I met Brian and Francesca, and then of course a couple other local artists and illustrators, and we just sit there and we do our drink and draw and have fun. We talk to them, and so it was like meeting Brian was like, whoa. He's you get kind of awestruck a little bit when you see him, because it's like you know the name, now you got the person in front of you, and so you want to ask questions and just dive in, and then after that it was Tucson Comic-Con when I did my first one a few years back, and then of course again we see him at the drink and draws for the boot camps, and then last time I saw him was at a Christmas party of theirs at Coffin Comics. So that was a lot of fun. That was great, because I know a lot of the guys that work for him, Jeremy Clark and Bernie, Fritz, and Coop. So I know a lot of guys there, and they're always the ones telling me, you got to talk to Brian about this. You got to talk, but we'll talk when it gets going. This Wayfair here, I'm actually kind of like I said, blown away, gobsmacked that with the help of everybody that we were able to get fully funded within the first, I think it was 72 hours. And then once it kept going, I'm like, well, let me just add more things. And once I got the cover from Shelley Roberts, I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We make it a stretch goal. And once we get the stretch goal, we'll add that print plus another Halloween print that I was doing of my character, of Amia. And so we're just shy of that, just $78, I think, shy. So we're getting there. It's growing.
Nice.
Yeah. So like I said, with the comic, it's a slow burn comic. The first, there's two in here. It's called The Prelude. It's the first one, and it was to showcase seeing if I could do a comic with just sequentials alone, no words or anything, dialogue. And I'll tell you this, Pops, when I first did it, nothing came out like I wanted to out of my head. It just didn't work. I was also learning at the time Clip Studio Paint, and utilizing that tool. So I was doing two things at once. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just keep making. And then it grew from there, the rest of the storyline, and creating new characters, the concepts, and like I said, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say this is amazing looking. I like it.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to showcase is my growing as an artist. So originally this comic was in black and white, and the style was different, and I wanted to show how I've grown. So if you see the current issue right now, by the time I've started issue 5, it's going to even look different than the first issue or the 4th issue, because I'm never happy with how my art looks, so I'm always trying to improve and get better. Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm always striving to get better, learning new things and talking to other artists in the industry about, hey, how'd you do this? How do I approach that, or etc. So knowing some of the bigger artists out there I've gotten privy to, I do get a lot of help, and I really do thank them. I'm really appreciative, and I'll drop his name, just because he's dropped my name on his shows, Mark Brooks. So I work with Mark. I do his flats and everything for him.
He's up there on my wall.
Is he? Yeah, he is the nicest guy in the world. I was happy to, just by chance, he was looking for a flatter on his Facebook post, and I think I was like number 10 responding to him. And I don't know what he did, if he contacted Brian to see if I was good or other people or what, but the next second he's like, hey, I got stuff to throw at you. So he started throwing me things and going from there. And then he's like, dude, you're fast. And I mean, Mo, you know this, Mo. When Shelby Robertson's talking about me doing his flats for him, he's like, yeah, I can go send him the flats. I'll walk away from the desk and then come back. And he's like, he's done.
Yeah. It's nice when your people are paying that kind of attention to you, and they get your message right away, and they slam it out, and they get right back to you. Huh?
Yeah, and that was it, because Mark and everybody, they're like, they takes them like, hours. He said, I'm like, wow, you do such beautiful work. I'm like kind of stymied sometimes when I hear other artists like they can't do the flats, but I have a technique, so I have techniques that I use to get through those really quickly, and I kind of go in a zone. And being ADHD, I hyper focus on it, so I can get it done rather quickly, especially when I know the artist and their style, what they need and what they want. I can rip those things out pretty quickly. I think the best one was the House of X, Power of X promo. He sent it to me, and so I got to see like what is it, the Cardinal, all the new people that were being introduced ahead of time. So I was like,
right there,
yeah,
that one right there on the wall. That's Secret Empire Zero, autographed by Martin Brooks. He's back there on the wall, man. There's a whole bunch of people back there.
Yeah, so yeah, Mark, it was fun, and then like I said, doing with Shelby and everybody else. So I'm a comic book flatter, and I'm always, my door is open. So if anybody ever needs a flat colorist for their projects, especially, this is what I've been trying to pitch to a lot of creators now, and a lot of Kickstarter, Facebook sites, etc. Is that they're always looking for a colorist, but I'm like, well, you do know there's another colorist in the mix as well. There's a flat colorist.
Right.
And if you got, hired me for that, I could do the flats for you. That way your project, all you do is then you're handing the file over to the colorist, and they don't have to go and hire somebody. They don't have to do the flats themselves. It's already been done, and they can go ahead and just start working the project right away. So that's what I've been pitching to a lot of creators, hire me to do that, and I can get that work done for you and get it ready and even set up the files or whatever that's needed to get to the next stage. And once that's done, you've got almost a near finished project, and then it's about 90% done. Send it over to the colorist, they can do the rendering, the renderer stage of it, and
it's gonna blow you away that people like Mark and Shelby are like out there telling people about you. That's gotta blow you away a little bit, huh?
It does. I do. I'm very appreciative of both of them. Especially Shelby, he's been a big push, and Mark as well. Like I said, I'll join the stuff because I like to learn from both of them. Like I watch both their shows. When they do stuff Facebook Live or on YouTube, but I'm able to talk to them and ask them questions and get, how does comic industry work? So it's one of the reasons why I want to do indie stuff versus working for the big two, because I oftentimes will get across my desk, I'll see an artist that I'm like, oh, this is fantastic on the day one, but by day, whatever, they're already tired a little bit. And, it's like, wow, I don't want to be in that kind of rush to create my artwork and push out something that I think for myself right now, I think my work is kind of mediocre, but other people are, they really like it and everything else, but I want to try to do my best, and I want to do my best all the time, at least to the point where I have to at least tell myself, okay, I got to stop, because again, as as artists, we tend to keep going, oh, it's not perfect yet, it's not there, and we'll rework it and we'll redo it, and it's like I have to tell myself, like with this, to say, hey, what, just stop, just it's good enough, it looks great.
I get it. I had to do that myself, man. It's like I'm not even an artist, right? But I wanted to draw something a couple years ago. I was like, I don't know, 4 years ago, I guess. And it was like, I want to draw something because I want to find out what you guys actually experience. So I went to actually drawing something for real, trying to really, first time as an adult in my life, I tried to actually draw something. And I kept I kept seeing flaws and wanting to go back and finally I just put it in a frame and put it up on the freaking wall so I couldn't mess with it no more. I even duct taped the back of the frame. You gotta work to get that thing out, man. It's like, because I see the flaws, I want to fix it, and it's like, no, just leave it alone. It was the first time you ever tried to draw. Leave it alone.
And I applaud that you did that, because oftentimes I have people, they're like, I can't draw a stick figure. I'm like, well, I sit and practice every day. And I actually got that mentality from meeting one of my, favorite artists, Sifu Steve Rude.
Steve.
And I know he's in the Valley here too.
Nexus Steve.
Yeah. And so I talked to him at a convention here. It's the first time I got to talk to him in person, and he wrote him one of the sketchbooks, keep working at your dream, keep pushing, keep drawing. And I kind of got stymied a little bit. I'm like, he's sitting here drawing every morning, he says, for an hour or two practicing. And I'm like, you're a master. How are you practicing? You could draw pretty much anything. And I thought about it, going like, well, you're keeping those skills alive. You're learning something new, trying a new technique. So I do that every morning. I get up and I do a morning warm-up sketch. I'll do 5-minute practices. I'll spend time trying to analyze how a face looks, how how to get that jawline right or whatever. Hair is a big thing I'm always practicing. The only thing I suck at is inking, and I'm still practicing at that. But I just look at all these artists, that's what they do. We sit and we practice, we get it out. And also I'll tell people too, is like, that's the one thing I do beforehand, before I actually do touch my comic pages, is I will sketch something first, just get the cobwebs out, warm up the hands. And once that's done, then I'm ready to start my day. And I also think too, and I do think that flatting really has helped me, because I'm flatting over somebody else's lines. So it's creating that muscle memory and that's stamina to keep it going. So that's probably one of the reasons why I'm fast at flatting, is because I just have that muscle memory built up and I know how to just do it. And so
that last paragraph right there, that says it all. This comic is already done. You won't have to wait long to receive your first issue. It's colored. Once you've chosen your tiers and it's fully funded, which it is, now we just got 14 more days, and then it can go right to the printer. That's amazing. I did want to ask, this is all you?
This is all me. Yep.
Do you have an editor?
I actually didn't for this first one. So, but I did have people review it, and so they found the little mistakes and errors. So I did correct it for this issue, because this issue's been done, like, it's existed for about a few years now. It's been sitting on the webtoons, but going forward, I have started to get an editor. So I have an editor. Having somebody write right now. I would do a Marvel style synopsis of what I want for my issue, and then I have somebody else do the dialogue. So I have a slight writer. I will of course change it as necessary, but I just want to get the things rolling. But having the editor really helps. So the issues 2 through 4 have all been checked and double checked and everything. And if so, what I'm hoping eventually to do is to start hiring more people on to do that stuff, to not only just edit, but maybe even hire a flatter, so that way I can just go and do the rendering myself, or flatting it myself and just hiring somebody else to color it.
Right.
But even the lettering,
I bring it up because, like, I'm one of those people that mistakes, spelling mistakes, punctuation mistakes, stuff like that, like, jump off the page at me. If you understand what I'm saying. Yep. The whole paragraph would be great. That one letter that's out of place goes bam, 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 hits me in the face, right? Everything I read, whether it's novels, comic books, anything, it's a curse. But at the same time, it's beneficial because I do proofread. I have actually done some proofreading for people, but editing is a little bit different than that. Editing, you got somebody that's not, your buddy, that can look at your project and make sure things flow from scene to scene correctly. Not so much try to rewrite your book, but just make sure it flows good from the reader standpoint. I love editors, man. And there's a few really good ones out there that don't do anything to the story, but make it just a little prettier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want. You want somebody that's not gonna, like, red mark every damn thing you wrote on the page, but makes it flow.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's when, like, the mistake that was pointed out to me is there's one panel in the book where a little action scene, and the person said to me, is like, well, I don't get this panel. Everything else flowed, but then they get this panel. I like that. I go like, oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm glad you got people that are looking at it, from the whole perspective. That's good. That's basically what you need. If you got a team acting as your editor, same thing. You get enough different eyes looking at every aspect of it, and it all fixes itself.
Yeah, and I even went back through with this, and because we got the whole thing with, and I think I did it because Shelby on one of his campaigns, people were commenting about the lettering, and so I went back and I'm like, oh yeah, this lettering's kind of, not good. It's got the eyes that are crossed, and instead of the eyes, except for when you're supposed to have, like, for example, if I say I am going to the store, that I should be capitalized, and then the other ones are just like I'm going inside. It's those straight line eyes. So I found I went back through, changed everything, added the inflections when it was necessary. So it did a lot of the little checks and balances on this one. So I might, I even did some little updates for some things. So this book is done. I'm holding it right here in my hand. That's the first. That's the regular red.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
There you
And then
there
we've got
you
the variant black foil. The only one I don't have is
Now,
Shelby's.
now, hold up. That black foil looks kind of cool. Put that back up there again.
Yeah.
Tilt it back from the top. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, this one, Hero and Villain Designs, they really came through with this one, that foil cover.
Hero and Villain Designs. Gee, that sounds familiar. I just first heard about them like last week. That's Krista's printing company, y'all, and she seems to be on top of what she does.
Yeah, her and her husband are fantastic. They're great friends out here. And this one, this was drawn by me. This was actually the original cover, but it's colored by Shelby Robertson, because I wanted his, his coloring on it. Then he did the variant, which is the one that's in the Kickstarter. I just got that maybe a few weeks ago from him. So I still have to go talk to them at Hero and Villain to see if there's a foil one that might actually look nice, and which one that would be, and then go from there. But yeah, all I have to do is send the file over to them, and we're done. So get everything printed off, and that's what I'm a lot of help, like I said, from people in the industry who just like, do the first one, because I was actually looking to maybe do all of them at once, but he's like, no, just do the first and get some buzz around it. And so the second one, I've already starting to line up some great artists to do a variant. Eventually, I'm hoping to, see if somebody else might do one for me, that like Mark.
There you go. Just throw it out there, man.
See if you'll do that.
I'm one of them big fans of. Hey, if you don't ask, it's never gonna happen. You gotta throw it out there, man. It's like you gotta throw it out there. Oh, here we go. Oh, Mike, what's flattening? Beer lantern. Welcome. There you go. Go ahead and explain what flattening is then.
Well, what flattening is that we are basically just coloring a comic book page, making selectable colors. So think of it as, when you're building a house, once the house is built and the walls are just plain white, now you want to have them different colors. The flatter comes in, they do the coloring. They color that wall blue, red, whatever. The renderer, the next stage in the coloring process, is the one that comes in and gussies it all up, puts the wall paintings up and chairs and furniture, make it all look homely and nice, and want to buy this product. So that's what I do, is I flat a comic. Once we get it from the inker, it gets reduced to the right comic book portions, and I go through and I flat each panel with a different color. Say, for example, Batman or Justice League. I just did a Justice League one. So let's do a Justice League. So I would color in the blue for Superman, red for the, boss, yes, and yellow, etc. What that does is that when it goes to the next stage for the renderer to do, is that they can then select that color. So if they want to color Superman's blue, they can select it and then make it look nice, add the highlights, the rim lighting, everything. But they've got the work done for them. So basically everything's been flat. The entire page has been done. If that didn't flat, that means that the colorist, that renderer, would have to go through and do it themselves. And that's where it takes time for a lot of things, because you're looking at a comic book page, could take a half hour to, I've done a comic book page for 2 days. And that one was a tough one. I just found out that it's not coming out, so I'll drop it. It's the Wonder Woman Hysteria. with Phil Jimenez or Phil Jimenez. I want to punch him, but I also want to shake the man's hand because it's beautiful artwork. But oh my God, that was the toughest assignment I've ever done. I've never really done something where it took 2 days to do. I've maybe taken 8 hours to do one, but I've never taken 2 days to flat just one page. That's because it was very detailed oriented. They're very specific about what they want done for each character and etc. So I had to pay attention to those things and break things down more. So, for example, when you're flatting something, if you're flatting this scene behind me I would do like each book a different color, the wall, the Wi-Fi router, myself, I'd make a different color. So I also try to think when I'm looking at the pages. Sometimes I do get the script, sometimes I don't. So if I see a script that says Sergeant Fury's puking, it's daytime. I know that's daytime, so I can then try to make a nice blue sky, or I can look at the scene, go like, okay, he's sitting over throwing up on a picture of Hitler, so maybe I might make this a little bit more fun, and set that up. It just helps because once we're done, once it goes to the render, because usually we have as a flatter a day, 2 days to turn it back around and get it to the next stage, and then it goes to the letterer, they do their stuff, and then off to print. So I do that for people. I help them with their projects and get it all done so they can move on to the next stage. And I find what happens is that a lot of times with artists, it's just the technique. So on how to flat, and I've been doing it for so long that just comes second nature on how to click around on a screen, how a process doing background to foreground, or if I do it foreground to background. I could show an example, I guess, Pops, if you want to
Sure.
take a look. Let me see if I can open up something here. I grab an old flat from a while back. Let's see, about 2020 here. Come on. So one thing I do when I do have clients as a flat artist, as I don't share anything. Once you send it to me, until your book is out, it's mum's the word. I don't share anything. I don't do anything on social media. We have a non-discretion or non-disclosure account with me. So our agreement is just verbal. I basically don't do it. Like I said, I knew about House of X, all the new characters and things like that, but the only people that knew about it was Mark Brooks, the editor, his wife, and myself.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. People will send me something and they'll be like, "Don't show nobody." I have a file in my computer that's probably one of the largest files of stuff I can't show people that there is out there. It's like everybody's always showing me stuff that they haven't, they're not ready to show everybody else yet, but they're like, check it out, Pops. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, but it just goes in a file I can't show nobody.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just updated the Big Sur last night, and so now Photoshop is not working for me here. Oh well.
Oh well, we'll just go back to looking at her then. There you go.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I have the current issue of the Wayfarer up, but I don't have anything. I did originally when I started to do my comic, I did it originally drawing traditional, then scan in, sometimes clean up in Clip Studio, and then colored in Photoshop. Recently, I've been working towards just doing everything all in one tool. So I've been utilizing Clip Studio. So I've been trying to create videos on how to flat like you would in Photoshop in Clip Studio, and setting up everything. So I have a channel on YouTube. I'm started Artwork by Dutch, and it goes through some of the flatting tips and setups and things like that. But another good person to look is plug his site, because he's also helpful, is Color by Kurt. He's been doing as well. But yeah, so I flat. I think it's just because like I said, I just know the the tools, and having access to Brian Miller even helps. That's I can reach out to Brian and go like, hey Brian, is there some way I can do this faster, or what should I do, and give a little advice, because he's been doing this for since 1995, 20 years or so more. So if you're not familiar with Brian Miller, he has a comic book, has a book called Hi-Fi Color for Comics. I think it's on Comixology and on Amazon as well. And the latest one you just put out a few years back, you can lay it on flat onto a surface and open it up and go. But it goes through everything: how to set up your file, how to flat, how then to start thinking about rendering and lighting your designs, and etc. How to get it ready for print. So when I flat some of these pages, I don't choose like neon pink or some color that doesn't exist in real life. I try to stay within that sweet zone, the sweet spot of coloring. So it's going to be CMYK compatible when you go to print. So you're not going to have that much of an adjustment.
I was just going to say, if you would drop the link to your YouTube channel and just tell people your Twitter handle or whatever. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, well, so my Instagram, I'm a big Doctor Who fan. So it's Dutch Who _arts. I'll drop it in there. And
Insta?
Yeah.
And I spelled Dutch wrong. Look at that. I'm horrible. I'm just horrible. Don't worry about me, y'all.
And
just spell Dutch right, and there it is. Okay? Jeez, my fingers don't work, man.
No, that's no problem. My brain doesn't work at times. Sometimes it gets fuzzy. Like I said, I'm ADHD, so I'm, probably already thinking about 20 other things at the same time I'm having this conversation here. So
I used to
I'm
be
glad
able
to be
to
right
type
here.
pretty fast. I used to be able to type pretty fast, but now I got like tendonitis, and it's like the mind's going faster than the fingers are. And I'll hit that enter without ever looking at what I just typed. I'll just go enter because I used to be really good at this. There it is. All right, let me get that. Put it up in here right, man. Jeez, Pops, get it right. All right, there it is.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
And yeah, man. Also, your YouTube channel.
Yeah, trying to.
Because I just looked for it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, it's basically, I think it only has 14 people on it. It's small. That's all right. Oh wait,
now see, Fear Lantern drew that Sinestro right there. His profile pic.
Sweet, love that.
I don't draw none of my stuff, but everybody draws my stuff. Lee Reese draws Crom. Chris Tamulovich draws Crom. And Lincoln Branch draws Crom. Everybody draws Crom. Man, it's cool. Christy Shin draws Crom. That's hers. Dory Jones drew Crom. It's like everybody draws Crom.
I'm looking forward to doing one of those then. That'll be fun.
Well, it's like, what I'll do is I'll send you all the different renderings of him. Okay? I'll send you the very first one, and I'll show you all the things other people have done, their versions of him, and then you can come up with your own version of him.
Oh, nice.
Like, Christy, Christy drew him in her style. It's like that was, that's what I want. I want your version of him, not a copy of somebody else's version. So,
no, exactly.
We got about 20 or 30 different ones so far, though. Different Crom art.
Yeah, see, I was blown away when Shelby did mine, that cover. I honestly could not sleep that night. I was sitting there in my head, and I was thinking about, I want to make a sculpture of this, and I kept dreaming about how I want to sculpt it because it was beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful, and and I'm blown away. So I've already created the character design sheets for all the different artists, so I'm sending that out to them, and just looking to see what they do, how they can, just show this character. Because I basically, I'm as a father, I'm raising two strong, independent young ladies, and so this character is basically that. It's she's a strong female character. I have my oldest who will, I'll ask, is this dialogue right? Is this, how would I do this? For her, how would to sound more? So, talking to this young lady, and so she looks frail. She's again like most anime or manga characters, looks like she's needs the help or whatever, and the big muscular guys step in, and she's basically takes care of them instead. So I mean, I would love to talk more about the magic and everything, how it's oriented, but we start doing that in the second issue, so it would be kind of a spoiler, I guess, if I
we one of the things I always encourage people is give a little but never give too much.
Exactly, yeah. And I know that's the thing that's always hard to, as a creator, you just want to keep talking about it.
Yeah, and sometimes we do. We tell say, no, like, give us a character bios, give us the team, but you don't have a team. It's you. It's all you, and that's amazing in itself. I have a few friends out here that are doing what you do, that are doing it all by themselves, and it's like, man, you guys kill it. All right, so this is the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep. And
cool.
So here I will, go on and I'll do some drawing tips, because one of the things that really helped me is, as an artist, I found the Riley method spoke to me more than the Loomis method, the typical style that a lot of people do. Just because the rhythms, how it flows, and the facial flows of how to draw a face. So I teach people how to do that based on other people I've learned from. Another artist, Draw with Chris on YouTube. Chris Legospie is a mentor of mine, and Brian Lee is another, and he's off in China, and I can't wait for his book to come out. It's a beautiful PDF. It's going to be in Chinese, published over there, but he's going to do a PDF for America because of the cost to do that. But it's a method I would highly recommend some people if they were looking to do very naturalistic styles. Or realistic. It's definitely one that works. So I try to teach just the basics of that, and also go through, again, how to flat, how I do things. And so oftentimes when people ask me, I basically, I told Tone Rodriguez, if I look at a piece and I see it's by Howard Porter, for example, I'll look at a flash cover and like, okay, that's going to take me probably 2 hours. I'll guesstimate it. And then I'll put on something I've watched a million times already, like Big Trouble in Little China. So that way I have a starting point and an end point. So I know when I've reached Jack going to the brothel to find the girl, I know if I am at, like, I've only colored the flash and I haven't gotten to anything else, then I'm like, okay, I'm at that, halfway point, or now we're at the lightning scene, so
time to get to work.
Time to get to work. Yeah. So I know where I'm at, and that after the end of the 2 hours, I'm like, okay, am I done? Hopefully I'm done before then. Yes. If it's an hour and a half, then I can sit and watch the rest of the movie. But I know when to look at the movie. So I know the good parts. I know it by heart. So that's when I can stop and, quote it. Oftentimes, even like Doctor Who I'll put on, and I know all the Doctor Who episodes. So I'm like, okay, this is the part I want to take a look at over here, and then go back to work. So that's one of the techniques. So shh, don't tell anybody.
Have you ever watched the original first season of Doctor Who?
Of the series in 2009?
No, the original.
Or the original, the classics.
The original first season
with William Hartnell.
The old plunger arms on the Daleks and everything, right?
Yeah. When they do the little push, you can still see the head inside. Yeah, those.
I started watching that this year. I started watching season 1. I wanted to see what they were watching when they this first started? How did this grow into such a cult thing from plunger arms, man?
Well, that's actually funny. They actually made a Doctor Who episode about, or a movie about that, the making of Doctor Who, and the real William Hartnell, who was the original first Doctor, and all the production issues. So it's actually very good. I have it, and they do talk about a lot of that stuff, like how it was actually going to fail, and then the second episode was the Daleks, and once that happened, because the original producer didn't want the bug-eyed monsters. He just wanted somebody going back in time and talking about history, meeting Marco Polo or Christopher Columbus or whomever. Well, once they had the bug-eyed monster, then that's when it blew up. That's when it became so big over there. So it's actually on Pluto TV. You can watch them all, almost all of them. And
that's what I said. I started watching season 1 just to see how did it get to where it is. It was like, because season 1 is like, it's hard to watch. Okay, it's hard to watch. I ain't gonna lie. Now the writing, the stories aren't bad. But I mean, if you unless you're like old like I am and you grew up watching black and white stuff, you can't watch that.
See, that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, man, you don't know what it's like, because I'm born in the 70s, so I'm 25 with 25 years experience. So I grew up watching on our 3 channels. We only had 3 plus, or we had public access if you can get the rabbit ears the right way. So I grew up watching black and white movies. I love them. I still do to this day. Like I mentioned earlier about Stalag 17. So watching those old episodes was tough. I'll grant you that. But I started off with Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor.
Okay.
And once you got Tom Baker, you hooked, because he did for 7 years nonstop, and he made it fun that you want to watch the other seasons, and so you can see where everything happened. And you just watch them. They're, like I said, great stories. The acting. William Hartnell was 55 when he did that. So again, how times have changed for people. But so he would forget his lines and forget stuff, or he'd make up things, or he would call the person, kind of like we do with outtakes in like Rush Hour, where Chris Tucker's like, Jackie Chan, kick down the door. He would do things like that. He would actually call it the actor whose real name instead of Ian. He would call it the actor instead. So, but those are so, they take you to different places. That's probably, I think, when I've been doing comics for so long, I've actually noticed that my comic collection is kind of, I buy comics, but I don't buy them as enthusiastic or in large quantity as I used to. And I think it's because I'm in the industry and I see it, and so I get that, because I was in the corporate world for so long, that you need that release, you need that escape to something else. And since I'm not in the corporate world anymore, I have that escape every day. So I see it and I live it. So I still buy the ones I want and everything every week to support my local comic stores. And but I'm doing the magic. I'm living the dream. So, what they say, and it's still working at it. Still on plan, another 2 more years, and hopefully Dutch will be like Butch. I can't think of Butch's last name. Steve Butch Judas or Judy. I can't think of his. I know how to spell his last name. I just can't think of him. Big artist. Does a lot of cover art back in the day, along with like Dave Stevens, kind of that era. And so soon Dutch will just be the main moniker.
There you go.
Coming soon.
Well, we're gonna, now that we know who you are, we obviously will be following you and promoting whatever you got going on, because that's kind of what I do.
I appreciate it.
I encourage everybody to drop the link to their campaign once or twice a day in the madness, so that I see it. When I see it, I share it to the Twitter feed. I share it out to, my Facebook news feed. I do, other groups, the ones that allow it. And, we share, we network. Also, I would suggest watching In the Madness every evening and writing down some of those shows and contacting some of those people. They're all approachable. They all like to have content, you know. Critical Blast, Creators Outlet, the list goes on and on and on. But every night in the madness, you'll see 6, 7, 8 different live streams going.
All right.
You know, once prime time, about prime time, you know,
Okay,
7, 8, 9. That's why I come out here earlier so that we get people actually see us. Otherwise, you know, there's 10 different shows on and nobody paying attention to what Pops is doing.
No, I hear you. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I thank you. And I definitely will, you know, hit up and talk to other people. So
there are a ton of them in the madness that, you know, we always highlight their shows, make sure people know, make sure they know who you are and make sure you know who they are. That's pretty much what I do. It's a network.
Yeah, and if anybody ever needs advice or anything on flatting or whatever, I'm open. I feel that I want to give back and help the next person do what I'm doing, you know, or do whatever, do their dream. And I am willing to always be there, you know, to help out. I honestly, I have, that's why I like going to cons. I like talking to people and encouraging them to go forward. In fact, like I told one dad at a Tucson Comic-Con right before the pandemic, at the last one, you know, he was talking about his son being an introvert. And that's when I told him about the, you know, being creative, and we vomit up creativity, so we're quiet at the end of the day. But I said, when he's here, that he's going to talk. He's, you know, not going to sit down and draw once you get going and people are interested. You're going to talk and you're going to talk, and then you're just going to focus. You're going to want to give back. You want to help and meet other people and do the networking. So I totally appreciate everything here. So
now this one ends in 14 days, which is what, the 25th on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So how about, can you come back out on the 22nd or the 22nd?
Sure. Can definitely do that.
22nd of November would be it's Monday. It'd be Monday Madness. It'd be like the same thing, like, you know, maybe a little earlier if that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
All right. I'm writing you in right now.
I could definitely do that. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm very so happy with everybody, the response to this, and how it's going. And like I said, it's a slow burn. So I'll let you know that it builds up. There's action, everything in the second half of the comic, and then it just goes from there. So I'm wanted to do to this world. So
2 things. One thing I forgot to ask: how many pages?
Good question. I think it's about 26.
All right. Now, the other thing was, I did not notice if you had a retail tier.
I did not. No.
Okay. Being somebody who supports your local comic store, put a tier up there with 5, 10 issues for a discounted price, so those local comic stores that actually look at Kickstarter can go, oh yeah, that one looks cool. Oh, they have a retail tier. I can get 10 copies at a discount and put them on the shelf.
Yeah. I that's actually going to be something I'm doing with the second Kickstarter. So I've been this one I just wanted to launch and get out, but I didn't have time to talk to a lot of the local guys that I know. But you were correct, and I will definitely be doing that, having that retail, because I do like seeing the books out there, you know, especially for my other friends that are doing it. So
also on the campaign, if you put character bios.
Okay,
like a picture of the character and a little bio of the character of each of the main characters of the story. Introduce the people to who they're going to be reading about without telling the story, you know. Gotcha. But you still get to give them a little one-up on each one of the people involved. Just little things, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, obviously you funded. You don't need my help. But I love making little suggestions, because everybody always comes back to me, and they're like, "Thanks, pops," because that paid off in some way or another.
No,
So
you're totally right, and that actually, I think Chris also suggested the similar for the next one. Shelby suggested about doing like book 1 and 2, things like that for
a catch up tier. Yep.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that, so that way you can know who the characters are, just like because this one there's 3 main characters. The main, Ami, of course, and
Right.
but then the 2 of the brothers that we meet, Zhao and Khan. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as like just the campaign page, the setup of the page, you put the bios up there. But then like when you're getting into book 2, that's when you get to start having fun. You get to set up the catch up tier where you can get this, copy of book 1 and book 2. You can get book 1. You can get this very cover of book 1. You can get all the stuff because now you've already pulled this off once, and now people are going, okay, he already funded and fulfilled once. Now I'm going to look a little closer because some people just shy away from first-time creators, completely in the beginning.
Yeah.
I embrace you guys. Come on in, man. Come on in. Join the game. Let's have some fun. But a lot of buyers, backers are like, I'm going to wait and see how this guy fulfills the first one. And then he's going to put a catch-up tier up there, and I'm going to be able to get 1 and 2 anyway. But I want to see some of those reviews. There's people, not me. I'm saying there's people. They want to see those reviews. They want to see those unboxing videos where people open that thing up and it's still pristine.
Yeah,
because you've seen the shipping horror stories. I know you have. You know all about Geminis, right?
Yes.
You know what's up, right?
Yep, I got it. That really helped. Like the great suggestions.
We have a discount code for those too. You get 10% off of your Gemini mailers with the discount code BOLT10, which is going across the bottom of the banner.
Okay, right BOLT10. All right, take that. Yeah, because that actually. Ryan Kincaid, he was talking about a lot of those issues. Shelby has talked a lot about those issues. So, I'm actually thankfully for a lot of help from those who have come before me have told me about the horror stories and everything. So that's why I found out about the shipping and did all the pre-planning ahead of time. So I've got all my supplies ready to go and for this one. And like I said, once I go and get it from Hero and Ville Designs, I'm going to do a video of my signing every book that's getting signed and then boxing everything up. And, of course, update videos of watching it print and everything and go from there. And then, yes, mailing it out. And
those Brian Polito update videos are wonderful. All through fulfillment. Like he'll go to the printer, the presses are spinning them off. He'll be like, yeah, you're filming that, letting everybody know this is where we're at in the process. This is where we're at in the process. All the tchotchkes come in. He'll do a video where he's signing books and look, they're putting together the packets over there and they got all these bins with all the different things in them, right? It's like, boom, 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 boom. They just package that stuff up and ship it out, man. He's got a huge team over there. It's amazing. Brandy and all those guys just kill it. They put in the work, man, and that's really what it's about. And that doesn't matter if it's marketing or what it is, man. You gotta put in the work. I was also gonna say we have a couple of indie distributors that we're networking with in the madness, and I will get with you about them as well.
Yeah,
okay?
That'd be fantastic. I was actually, I think I'd looked at a website or somebody had a link for a news article about, comic book companies out there that were indie friendly. So, and reaching out to them. So I appreciate it. That's definitely something.
Well, one of them is the first commercial I'm going to play when we close out. Liberty Entertainment Distribution. The people over at Indie Bolt, Barry and Grant. He's been building this for a few years, and it's finally, to the point where dude has a warehouse full of comic books that he's shipping out to people or shipping out to retailers.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a guy on the West Coast named Adam Watson, Comics Mainstream, and he's putting spinner racks in dispensaries and stuff like that. And keeping them stocked, and people are buying their weed, buying on a comic book, buying on weed, buying
Wow,
on a comic book.
that's a good idea. I like that.
Dude, yeah. So I mean, I will make sure you can get in touch with these people once you are, done fulfilling and whatever print copies you have left that you want to unload. With, I mean, we can talk. Bro.
All right, will do, Pops. Thank you.
Always want to network, get people talking to the right people to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to make more money. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we pretty much is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, it's pretty much like I said, the PDF's ready to go for those that have it. There's only those that are in the December group will get theirs right away. Other than that, those once it's done, everything will get ready to go out in January for all the others. The reason why I did that is because it's Christmas and everything, and I'm actually going to be gone for a couple of weeks, so I didn't want to get stressed out and try to do everything at once. But
Shipping
yeah.
during the holidays sucks anyway, man.
Yeah.
Everybody who's shipping out a campaign during Christmas is taking a risk. All them trucks are full of all kinds of stuff, and they're just throwing it in there, man. They don't even care right now. This is the wrong time to ship stuff.
Yeah. But other than that, if anybody needs a flatter, my email is artworkbydutch@gmail.com, and just hit me up there, and we can definitely, once I get everything set up and do your flats and stuff like that. I'm available 7 days a week, so I work even the weekends and nights and stuff. So, and I love to see talk to new creators as well. So you can definitely bounce off ideas and things. So I appreciate that. Again, Pops, thank you for having me on, and thank you, Krista, for introducing us. It was fantastic talking to a fellow Minnesotan. So,
dude, fellow Minnesotan.
Yeah.
Come on, we both started in Minnesota and then transplanted to Arizona. Now you just hit 50. Okay, I left Arizona when I was 49, I think. That was like the last summer.
Year?
No, when I was 49.
Yeah, last year, right?
That was about 9 years ago.
Nice.
When I left. Okay, summer finally caught up to me. I was one of them people that could play golf in the afternoon all summer long, right? Okay. Gotcha. Finally, that last summer out there is like I'd go outside 15 minutes. I was done. I was done. I got to go back in. It's like I don't know what happened. It was just like overnight. It changed on me, and it was like, okay, I got to go. So I moved.
Moved to Michigan, yeah.
No, I didn't come here first.
Oh, you didn't go there? Oh.
First, I went to California.
Oh, wow.
And then the job that I went there to get transferred us to Texas.
Oh.
Okay, well, Texas ain't much different than Arizona, so.
Yeah. I used to live in Austin, so.
And when it was time to, it was like time to leave Texas, it was like, okay, this was stupid. I need to get out of here. It was like, but I don't want to go back to Phoenix because I'm going to die of the heat there. It was like, I told my son, I said, man, I don't want to go back to Phoenix. He said, Dad, come up here, hang out with me. I said, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't have to kiss my arm or anything, it was like, yeah, I didn't want to, I was done with the heat, man.
To be honest with you, I've been looking at the Rust Belt myself. This, probably next 8 years, we'll see what happens.
We're in like the southwest part of Michigan.
Oh, we're in the mid. Southwest down here?
Down this area.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right.
And it's like the lake is right here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a really mild winters here. I don't know why, but I haven't one time yet been Minnesota cold.
Oh, see, that's
okay. So
I love that.
I'm good here, man. It's like it's not too hot in the summer. It's
you got your Goldilocks zone.
Not too cold in the winter, so yeah, I think I found a good spot for now. Anyway, The hunting's good, the fishing's good.
That's awesome.
What else can you ask for? There's all kind of cool comic people here too.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sweet. Maybe that might be where I go next. So
I'll be at Grand Rapids Comic-Con on Saturday doing live interviews and stuff. I'll just be going live indiscriminately if the Wi-Fi is good there. Otherwise we'll be doing recorded segments and uploading them later in the evening. But I'm gonna walk around and meet some more Michigan people, some more Michigan creatives. I had a blast last time.
Well, you have a great time. Just have fun. I missed that. I'm hoping started next year. Got a couple of things going, so we'll see if they all go through. Hopefully.
Well, if you get up here anywhere around here, just let me know so that I can try to figure it out. Because press passes, you have to get them ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, we'll do, Pops.
All right, man. It was great talking to you, Dutch. I will see you again on Monday, the 22nd. You'll have only a couple days left in this. Hopefully, it will be like blown up. Blown up by then. Let's get you out on some of these other shows. RJ, you know what's up. Start the trend, bro. Start the train rolling.
All right. Well, thank you very much again. Appreciate everybody for being on, and thank you, sir, for reaching out. It's been fun. I enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to talking to you again on the 22nd.
All right, man. You have a good night.
All right. You too now. Take care.
Commercial time, y'all. You know what I said. Liberty Entertainment Distribution.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution. We've got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
And we're still here. Look at that.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santa-Stein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance is funding now on Indiegogo. Don't miss this action-packed space fantasy adventure sure to rekindle your love for the genre. Get it now on Indiegogo or just go to sunsworn.com.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.